Just a quarter mile move around the entire.
That is insane. I would never pay.
Yeah, they're gonna start on it,
But just for like black coffee, right? I mean,
Yeah.
okay.
We actually
I like my
approved
fancy
it.
coffee.
Exactly like the original.
8 o'clock. Yeah, you were telling me I'll have to order something. All right, I'd like to call the Brimfield Township Board of Trustees meeting to order. Roll call for attendance, please.
Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
full board.
All right, if we could please all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Sue, would you like to?
Yeah, I would. Thank you very much. Our dear Heavenly Father, we're thankful that we can all be a part of Brimfield. We thank you for your blessing that we are growing. We're trying to make good decisions for the residents for the future, and we ask that you would help us with that. We thank you for the good camaraderie we have on our board, and that we try to do things to help our residents have a better place. We just thank you for your love and your grace and your mercy, and be with us today. Amen.
All right. Any announcements or correspondences?
I'm good.
No? All right, hearing none. We don't have any scheduled meeting guests. We will have a chance for public comments in a minute. Meeting minutes. Mike, did you get a chance to go over and look at those yesterday?
No, I did not.
All right, so let's go ahead and table meeting minutes because I wasn't at the last meeting, so I won't be able to approve those.
Okay, we have a young man with us that's never been here before. Does he have an issue under
It would be under public comments.
public comments?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, so we'll get to him once we get down to public comments. Agenda, I need a motion to accept the agenda.
So move.
And then we need a second for discussion.
I'll second for discussion.
All right.
I'd like to move the executive sessions forward. Well, first we have to add an executive session for,
Yeah, so it's gonna be number 2 to purchase property for public purposes.
you're gonna make that motion?
We don't need to make a motion. We
Just add it?
Yeah, we're just adding it, then we'll do a motion at the very
Right,
end. And then we will move executive session to the top of the order, because Mike needs to step out after the meeting.
Is there anything here about the funds where we need to appoint
No,
someone?
I have that, we're gonna add that under administration,
Okay.
2B as in boy, LGF committee, local government fund committee. Just make sure, give Rochelle a chance to catch up. And then we have administration 2C as in Charles, HR manual.
Okay.
And those are the only ones that I have, unless any department heads or other board members have any changes to the agenda. All right. Then can we get roll call for acceptance of the amended agenda as presented?
All in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Okay. Next is purchase orders. I'll entertain a motion to accept purchase orders.
So move.
I will second for discussion. Can we please remove from the purchase orders, the purchase order for Brimfield Historical Society till we get clarification from John when he gets back from vacation? And I think that's the only change to the POs. All those, roll call for acceptance with that change?
All those in favor, Mike,
I'm going to abstain.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed.
All right, warrants. I need a motion to accept the warrants. I'll make that motion. I need a second.
Second.
For discussion, once again, can we remove the Brimfield Historical Society check that is in there? Just till John gets back.
All those in favor, Mike,
Abstaining.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed.
Then we have public, now we will open it up to public comments or questions. Please state your name and address before addressing the board, and we ask that you limit your comments to 5 minutes. The floor is open. Just here to listen in? Yeah. Okay. Anybody else?
No.
Nothing today? Okay. All right, that was public comments. We will now move into safety concerns. Is there any safety concerns the board needs to be aware of? Hearing none. All right, we will now move into the business portion of our meeting. We ask that the public holds their comments till the end of the business portion, at which point we'll open it up for the good of Brimfield Township. We did move the agenda around today to go into executive session at the beginning, so that we can handle some business before Mike takes off. So I'd like to make a motion on June 15th, 2022 to move to convene into executive session pursuant to Ohio Revised Code Section 121.22G for the purposes of considering the following matters. One, to consider the compensation of a public employee or official. And then a second executive session, moving to convene an executive session pursuant to Ohio Revised Code Section 121.22G for the purposes of considering the following matters: to consider the purchase of property for public purposes or for the sale of property at competitive bidding if premature disclosure of information would give an unfair competitive bargaining advantage to a person whose personal private interest is adverse to the general public interest. Those are the two motions on the floor for executive session. I need a second.
Second.
Okay. In the first executive session, we're going to have Cassie with us. And I don't think we have anybody in the second executive session. Okay. Roll call for acceptance of those.
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed. We're in executive session as of 8:06.
All right. We'll be back shortly.
This is Deep Space One on Summit FM.
All right, we are back from executive session. Mike, I think you have a motion from our first executive session.
Okay, I'm going to make a motion that we change Aaron Bowman's hours from part-time to full-time. And this will be effective the next pay period.
Second.
All right, so this is Aaron Bowman. This is our part-time park positions and become a full-time Parks and Rec position assistant there to help with all the additional event planning and events that are ongoing.
Right.
So, all right.
It is needed.
Roll call for acceptance of that motion.
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed.
All right.
Okay.
The second executive session, there will be no action based upon that executive session at this time.
Okay. And I'm going to say goodbye.
All right. Hey, good luck. Have fun.
I don't have to do anything. All she has to do is push.
I'll remind her you said that.
I'll see you later.
See ya. All right, we are now in our business portion, so we will move over to police department. The floor is yours, sir.
Thanks, Nick. Update on the new cruiser. Update with Hall Public Safety. We had to make a couple adjustments to our outfitting and setup of that cruiser. That's going to be scheduled now for the week of July 11th. We had to push that back just a bit. Touch a Truck, as we're aware of, this Saturday, June 18th, we'll have a couple of cruisers there. K9 Cruiser, Metro SWAT vehicle will be coming for that as well. One update on the NOPEC grant information that we had discussed at prior meetings. Was able to finally get the quote information in from J&J on the HVAC system updates that can be done to the police department to make some fixes that are probably going to be more long-term solutions for the issues we've had there. That quote documentation was sent over to, I believe, Rochelle, or did you get that information?
Yes.
On that? I'm just providing that now as an FYI for the board. If that's going to be a potential NOPEC project, we do have quote information in hand on that now.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Under new business, I want to make the board aware we've made application under ARPA for the EMA Police Officer Retention Grant. We should learn what the outcome of that's going to be sometime in July. I don't have an exact time frame other than sometime in July. Agencies that get notified will be awarded. So
Was that a state grant or national grant?
that is through the state of Ohio EMA, ARPA EMA. Yeah. So we'll learn more in July sometime.
Okay.
We are presently in the process of reviewing applicants for a police officer position. That's just an ongoing process. We hit the pause button on that prior to the police levy, but with the passage of that, we want to try to bring a new police officer on board. So we are in process of reviewing applicants for that position right now. I also provided a list of street light outages in the township. I sent that over to John to give him a copy of that. We have several lights that are out in the township right now. A number of those are going to be on ODOT along State Route 43. There are several lights out there. And I've also got a few on county roads. As far as township roads, we've got some on Willow Way, Honeychuck, Brower Tree, Perrywood Lane, Pembroke Drive, and Meadow Park Drive. As far as townships, so I broke that list down by what's a county road, what's ODOT, and what's on the township. I don't know if John has a designated point of contact that he works with to make ODOT aware. In the past, I've provided that list to him,
Okay.
but I can check with him to see who at ODOT needs to be notified about those lights being out.
Yeah, John usually knows just because he's always handled all the lighting districts.
Okay.
So I would check with him. If not, then we can just reach out to our local ODOT rep.
Okay, I'll make sure. I'll just do a follow-up with John when he gets back from vacation on that.
Perfect.
Okay. Last item, we have another community event coming up for next Saturday on June 25th. We'll be down at Petco in the Cascades of Brimfield. We're going to be with the state patrol there from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're doing an event called Cause for the Paws, which benefits the Portage County Animal Protective League. So that's all I have for you this morning. If you have any questions.
Mike Kosinski did have one before he left. He asked me to bring up just if we could have increased patrols during the Juneteenth celebrations of the parks.
Yeah, I already
areas.
spoke with John on that. That's already on our list. Yeah, I'll make sure we make some extra passes through there. I don't know if we have any, don't know what, if any, events we might have, but.
Yeah, there's
keep our
nothing
eyes
been
open.
officially scheduled here, but we've heard there's a bunch, Plum Creek is getting another big event, some Kents, so just aware for your staff too, that, it's just our neighboring city, but I don't know if there's any events planned here.
We'll make a note of it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, any other questions for police department? All right, hearing none, we'll move into fire department. Craig is off, but Sue, I believe you have a report?
Yes, I do. Current calls for service in EMS, as of June the 15th, 719 calls for service. We haven't had any actual events for the fire department to attend. Upcoming event is Touch a Truck will be staffed with fire department vehicles and personnel. And we have the talking points that's come up within the last 2 weeks. Ongoing meetings with RICON, builders, the USDA staff have continued. Certain building materials are difficult to get with proposed money increases. John and Sue are aware of possible changes, and I'm working with all parties to exhaust options. And the USDA staff, they were at the Thursday 11 o'clock meeting for RICON, and we had good open communication there, so I was glad to see that happen.
Okay.
That's it.
All right, anything else? Any other questions for fire department? Okay. We'll move into administration. Under administration, we have 2A, Sioux Fields, Portage County Township Association meeting.
Yeah, I'm trying to come up with a menu to feed 100 people. And I want to get this done as quickly as possible so the organization can have it to put in their invitation that they send to everybody. But I've checked with 3 places. When John comes back, I want to go with him and meet with him again. But I find it's really expensive. So I'm suggesting we have s'mores and be friendly. And I found out from the Brimfield Steakhouse that 1 case of chicken, which is about 40 pounds, for her cost is like almost $300 just for that chicken.
Okay.
Not counting anything else. And she gave me a quote of $15 a person for 75 and $17 per person for 100 people.
Okay.
Which is a menu of the chicken, which would be roasted, pulled pork sandwiches, macaroni salad, baked beans, and roll. So I still have a dessert and drinks and all that to include in with that too. I checked with Guido's. And I thought their prices, I mean, I'm sure she says everything has gone up by 30%. So when you go to a restaurant to eat, that's why they all have new menus. And so with Guido's, I was looking at getting big roaster pans of the rigatoni with meatballs in it.
Okay.
And that was like $160 for 4 steamer pans. And they say 1 steamer pan serves 8 to 10 people.
Okay.
So anyway, I think I'll just bring hot dogs. I'll bring a crock pot of hot dogs.
Have you, I would reach out to Constantino's in Ritztown.
Okay.
They're a small shop that does catering. Their prices have seemed to stay pretty low. So that would be an option. And I'll try to think of a couple of restaurants. But yeah, right now the funding from them is $15 a head is what they charge.
And
I can go back to their board, being myself. And we have 3 other board members to see because we have some additional funds there. So we might be able to increase that a little bit. I know it is on the agenda for a policy change to change that to $20 a head moving forward for our members, starting in 2023.
yeah.
So, but
But
yeah,
actually, Giannino's was the most amount of food for the least amount of money.
okay,
It was still good. Their 100 pieces of chicken and Joe's was $180 for 100 pieces.
okay.
But anyway, I'm still working on it, and hopefully by the time we have our next meeting, I'll be all done.
Okay, yeah, I would share with Constantino's also.
I will. I'll go over there today.
All right. Next up is LGF Committee, Local Government Fund Committee. We received an email that we're due to talk about the local government fund disbursement model again. We're at the end of our term of agreement. So the townships need to work with the county and the cities to determine what that model is going to look like. And they need a representative from each township.
Okay.
So we need to appoint
I
somebody.
would like to make a motion to appoint Nick as our representative from our board for the local government funds that works at a county level.
All right, I will second that for discussion. Our mission really is just to try to increase our percentage again. 4 years ago, we went from like 0.9 to 1.6% of the money. So we got a substantial bump, but not enough. City of Kent still gets 17%. So we're trying to see how we can get that number up for all the townships again this year.
What did I get that?
Roll call for acceptance of that.
Well, what I have here, I brought this along with the formula with me that they have. Let's see. Yeah, 1.638% of the grand total.
Yep.
That's available. So, yeah, we got to improve that a little bit. See what we just need a fighter on that board.
Right.
We really do.
We see what we can do to change it.
Alright.
All those in favor, Nick?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Motion passed.
All right. Next up is HR manual. So I got an update from Danielle. John had asked for an update and asked her to complete the manual by July 1st. I called and talked with John and said, hey, that really needs to come before the board, how we want to accomplish this. Because I didn't think July 1st was a realistic deadline to get that entire manual done. So Danielle came back and she said, listen, here's the 3 options that we have in front of us for the manual. Option 1 is an August 1st deadline to complete the manual and get it to the board. She goes, the pros of this is the work is done quickly. The con is we would only be able to review sections of the handbook, not the entire thing. And we'd still be operating under outdated practices. She goes, or we can do option 2, which is October 1st deadline. And that'll be a complete manual to the board for review. We'll have time to review all the policies and procedures and update the entire manual. The con is that the board will be seeing everything and approving everything all at one time. So instead of doing it in chunks, she's saying turn the entire manual over to the board on October 1st. Option 3 is October 1st. We'll get the final approval, but we'll approve chapters as we go through forward each month. She'll bring chapters forward to the board. The pros to that is the board will see progress being made on the manual and reviewing chapters as we go. The con to that is it could be as she puts, feel bumpy and disjointed, especially for the staff, because we may modify a policy in June, right? And in July, we come across a policy that needs updated that affects that June one, and then we got to go back and edit it. So then you kind of have to keep re-updating staff on those policies as we go. So those are the 3 options that she's proposed for us, and we'd just like direction from the Board of Trustees. I know that she's been working with each department head, sending sections. I'd be open to hearing feedback from department heads too on that, right?
I just felt, yeah, as you indicated, she's kind of been sending along items to look at. And I went on vacation and had COVID there, so I fell a little bit behind. But I do have some items in my inbox to follow up with her on that she has sent for feedback. My thoughts to you would be October. I just think that's going to be more realistic with summer. Sometimes it's a little crazy too with time off and things like that. And that would be my recommendation to you as the board, is to consider the October piece. As to whether you guys want to do that in a chunk or take a look at the final draft of the manual collectively, potato, I think that's up to you guys as a board, but I think that gives us ample time to kind of make sure we're getting through it okay, at least from our end as the department head's kind of getting a chance to take a look at each and giving her feedback as she puts together.
You know, we've been working on this since 2016, I believe, 2018 maybe. And I would really like to see it done. I'd really like to see this happen by January the 1st.
Oh, I don't think that's going to be an issue. I mean,
You
I
know,
think we're def- I don't
we've
think
just, it's not that we've drug our heels, it's just we haven't been able to pull it together and make it happen. I really didn't want a boilerplate on this. I wanted to be more individual to our needs here in Brimfield. So boilerplate is really easy. You can go into a University of Cincinnati and there you got one, just like that. So, but I really want to make it for us. So I'm looking at the October 1st where it be complete. That way we're not working in little spots here and there. Do it all at once. What do you
And I
think?
agree. I mean, honestly, as the board, I don't want to see it until each of you have reviewed it, who she's sending it to, who's working on it. There's no reason to confuse the staff by saying, hey, here's a policy. Oh, no, we're going to change it now a month later because we got to change a different policy. I think you just continue working with her.
Okay.
We set that October 1st deadline. Maybe it's done earlier than that. Maybe something crazy happens, right? There's just a policy that just takes a bunch of legal review and we got to, push it off a little bit. I get that, but let's really push for the October 1st deadline, a complete manual in front of the board. Are you good with that, Sue? Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to, so we have it in the minute book for her too. So I'm going to make a motion that we set a October 1st deadline to have a complete manual for review by the board, HR manual for review by the board.
I would second that, but I would do any of the other, y'all have something to say to add to that conversation?
October 1st.
That's it. You're okay with that?
Just been
Okay.
plugging away what she's saying.
What's that?
Just been plugging away what she's been saying over, so.
Okay.
Okay.
All right,
All those in favor?
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed.
Right. Anything else? Any questions under admin? All right. If not, we go into zoning. Mike Ladd, the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you. So Mark Adetti is attending court this morning. Actually, right now should be he's talking to the 1435 Talmadge and his attorney. We'll give you updates afterwards. I think the house is going to go up for sale the last we talked to, and I don't know if that has changed. Sue, you know the realtor as well.
Yeah.
And that's supposed to go up, and then whoever buys the property is supposed to assume the one violation that is going to be left, and that's either painting the house or siding the house. All the other violations have been pretty much taken care of, so we're not looking at demoing that property now. We're looking at keeping it and then having it painted or sided. And then Aldi started work on the footers and the underground plumbing, so that's good news. Brimfield Commons continues to install all the sewers for the new shopping center down there. There's a lot of construction going on there. GPI is watching the job as the construction manager. And they've worked with Dave before. I think they're a good company as well. And then tonight, BZA meeting at 7 o'clock. And that concludes my report.
I know there's nothing we can do about grass, but have you seen the house on Talmadge where the grass is getting real tall, Mike? It's near that piece of land that they just bought where the track goes back. The grass is probably, I don't know, 3 foot tall now. I don't know if it's an abandoned house. It's on Talmadge. If you're headed towards Ritztown, it's on the left-hand side.
On the left-hand side.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know if it's abandoned, if that's something we need to look at.
Yeah, it's probably, it hasn't been abandoned for 2 years, but it is vacant, I think, right now.
Okay. Because I just noticed driving by yesterday, like the grass is
I haven't
real high.
confirmed it, but I think the land was purchased by the same company as Hickory Creek with the
Okay.
new homes. So,
If we could reach
I'll
out and
talk
see if
to
they
them.
could maybe come just knock down some of the grass in the front
Yeah.
there. Because it's getting real tall and I know we're gonna get complaints from the neighbors.
yeah, I think that's Patrick Long, so I'll take a look into it.
Okay. Like I said, I just noticed yesterday driving.
Sure.
That's a red brick house that was on Zillow for ages.
With a ton of acres.
Yeah, a ton of acres in the back.
behind
Let's
it.
go back to
Yeah.
76. Yeah.
90 acres.
What, 98 acres there?
90 plus, yeah.
Yeah, and if you look at a quarter acre lots, that's quite a few lots. So,
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, like I said, I just noticed the grass, so if we could at least reach out, if we need
Sure.
to reach out to them.
Mhm.
Other questions for zoning? None? All right. Road department, Dave, floor is yours.
Oh, well, morning. I got a whole mess for you. Mine won't be that quick. I just want to let the board know right now, we're trying to do some crack seal on the roadways. Weather's not helping us much anymore right at the moment. We've been out doing road mowing, trying to get the right of ways mowed back and stuff, get them cleaned up. We did get the electric moved, the service for the dog park. So now it's just in that phase of getting a high Edison out to hook it up. So it's been moved over, ready to go. We put all the girls up in the park for Cassie. There's one at each one of the pavilions where people can start using for hot dogs and all that stuff. We did go and backfill and straighten up the spot over on Estes. Just that was brought up at the one meeting. It has been backfilled and we're working on the next phase of that project. To let the board know, Tim Fox turned in his resignation letter. His last day will be June 21st. So we accepted it. He's moving on to a different project. So now we'll get into the fun part of it. I need the board's approval for the county engineers to prepare the bid book for OPWC Round 36 Cascades paving project. I don't know if you want to do them all. Last time we grouped them together. You group some like the advertisement for the bids and opening and that stuff, or you want to keep them separate?
We'll just do them separate. I think it'll be, so this is for the Cascades paving project, which is what we're talking about now, correct?
Yes.
All right, so I'll make a motion to approve Portage County Engineers prepare bid book for OPWC Cascades paving project.
Second.
All right, any questions on this? All right, hearing none, roll call.
All those in favor, Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed.
Okay, then I'll need for the same thing for the Cascades paving project, the board's approval for advertisement dates of June 24th and July 1st.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve advertisements of the OPWC Cascades paving project for June 24th and July 1st.
Second.
Roll call for acceptance.
All those in favor, Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed.
Okay, then I need the board's approval for the OPWC Cascade paving project. The bid openings at 7:45 a.m. on July 13th.
I'll make a motion to approve bid openings at 7:45 a.m. on July 13th here at the Brimfield Township Community Center.
Second.
All right, roll call.
All those in favor, Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed.
Okay, now this is for, this is a different thing for the Butternut Ridge paving project.
Okay.
I'd like the board's approval for the inspection on service on the project from QCI for the Butternut Ridge project at $16,299.78.
I'm going to make approval or, I will make a motion to accept the inspection service for QCI for Butternut Ridge for a cost of $16,299.78.
Second. What does QCI stand for?
Quality control inspection.
And is this part of, so this was built into our project funding for this already?
I'm pretty sure it is. I'd have to go back and relook at that, but what it is, we have to send the county over a check like we did in the past.
Okay.
And then that way they bill through the county and then the county subtracts from it and then we get back whatever funding is left from the project on their services.
Okay.
So,
And this is where we're getting that inspector now that's out there the whole time.
yes, that way there's somebody on the job full time like we've done in the past of the other allotments.
Okay.
So,
And QCI is that who we, or who do we use for the inspector? Does the county choose the inspector?
this time around, we're all kind of going together to use one company to get a better price at it.
Okay.
So we did use OmniPro in the past,
Okay.
which we still have a few projects that are buttoning up yet, but this is a different company where we're all getting a better price. They're trying to group it together where everybody gets a little better service price right now, so.
Okay. All right. Any other questions for this one?
No.
Roll call for acceptance?
All those in favor, Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed.
I don't know if, well, I'll just put it out there anyway. I mean, I need the board's approval for the soccer field driveway for Helmy Construction to put in the soccer field driveway over off of,
Kelso?
Well, it's a side drive back there. It's not.
yeah,
Kelso,
I
it's
can't, off of Town Square.
Yeah.
It'd be off of Town Square, for Helmy Construction to do it for $8,000.
Have you discussed this with John to see if
Yes.
there's sufficient funds there?
Mhm. He said, there was a funding he had set up. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I was away for a couple, I just got
Right.
back late last night, so.
Yeah, no, this is coming out of that ARPA fund. So I'll make the motion to accept Timely Construction for the driveway construction for the soccer fields.
Second.
For discussion, Dave, how many quotes did you get on this?
I actually only had 2 quotes come
Okay.
back, so.
What was the second quote and how much did that come in at?
The second quote come in at 10,000 some odd dollars.
Okay. And that's all we could get the quote on. It was 2 companies.
Yes. I mean, if you want me to go back and call more, I can try to get, but this time of year, a lot of people are already tied up with things too, so.
And is this the complete driveway installation, or is this just the base coat?
This is to get the base, and what we're gonna do is we're not gonna put in the 1s and 2s. We're gonna put the fabric down. It's gonna be a 4 or 6 inch cut. There's gonna be fabric put in, but we're gonna use recycled 1s and 2 asphalt.
Okay.
So what it is they'll put a packing on it then, and it'll actually seal it up nicer where it's easier for you to drive on at the time being as a construction driveway. Then when the project's done, we'll have to come back and put 57s on top.
And we'll do that in-house?
Yes, we'll do that in-house.
Okay.
Because then we can put, after everything's said and done.
Okay. And does this include the curb cut too?
Yes, this is a curb cut too.
Okay. And that'll get us right up to where that pavilion's gonna go, and then another
It'll
construction.
get us right up to the water spigot.
Okay. And then somebody else will come in and do the work for the foundation for the pavilion?
Yes, most of the stuff we're looking at on that, most of the companies we've talked to, me and Michelle, they'd rather do all that work themselves, for they know, per se, it's easier for us to, if something's wrong,
Right.
you got to go back to one guy instead of chasing this guy down and getting back for that guy. So it's just easier to have who's ever doing the pavilion just do their own work there.
Okay. All right, motion's on the floor, and this is coming out of ARPA funds. This is part of that federal funds that we got. We had already passed the ARPA motion to spend the money on this project, which include the fencing, the pavilion, and the driveway. So you're just looking for acceptance of this as the driveway company.
Yes.
All right.
On these ARPA funds, I understand that if we don't use those, then we have to give it back to the federal government.
Correct.
And that's my tax dollars that I don't have to pay. Okay.
Yeah, so this isn't money coming from our general taxes. This is coming from those ARPA funds. We've received one disbursement. We have a second disbursement next month.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. All right, roll call for acceptance of the driveway construction with Hemling Construction.
All those in favor, Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion.
Okay.
I don't know if I need the board. I mean, I don't know. I have to put it this way, but I got down as board approval to start the process for looking for another new full-time employee. Either it's an FY or I'm going to put something out there soon to get a replacement for Tim.
Yeah, so it wouldn't come to board approval because the position exists. If it was creating a new position, then you would do that.
Okay.
What you'll do is you'll advertise and then you'll bring forward to the board,
Okay.
hey, this is who we'd like to hire.
You could. I just wanted to make sure crossing all my T's and I's or whatever you call that stuff.
Yep. Just get with Danielle too, see if she can help you get an advertisement together so that we can get some more candidates for you to choose from.
Okay, after all that concludes my report.
All right, any questions for the road department? All right, hearing none, we'll move into Parks and Rec. Cassie, the floor is yours.
All right. My first item is I have Brimfest updates. I gave you guys a list this morning, I forgot to include it in my report, of some items that we are looking at renting for Brimfest. We are at the point where we need to start at least putting down payments on amusement items. I'd like to have done this earlier, but obviously I was out on leave. I don't know if we want to decide on this today or just review it today, but I would like to request approval for the rental items. I went over this with John, and I know the individual items are less than $5,000 each, which is the requirement for board approval. However, this would probably be one. I don't know if you wanted to lump it into one purchase because it's all for Brimfest, or how you would want to do that. But
Yeah, I think it's best that we get a total package put together to the board to say, here's the cost. But I also need John to, and I'm just looking at the cost right now, I need John to give us kind of what the operating budget he has set aside for Brimfest.
Yes.
So that we can kind of decide from that too. So I think it's, in my opinion, unless you have a different opinion on it, I think it's good for us to look at this today.
yes.
But I think we need to wait for John to come back to say what the operating budget is for Brimfest.
Okay, yeah, understood. Okay, and then I'm also in the process of seeking food vendors. We've been having an increasingly difficult time finding food trucks. We're starting to look more for concessions now. Food trucks are just having a difficult time with the price of gas and food rising. They really just want to make sure that they go to events that have like a dedicated following, like the bigger fairs and bigger established festivals like that. So we have, I believe, 2 food trucks signed up, but I'm just having a hard time getting a commitment from others. So we reached out to Lynn's Concessions. She said that she would love to attend. However, she's looking for help. She's trying to find helpers. So as long as she can get people to commit to help her, she will be there. Other than that, we're still reaching out. So public service announcement, if you know anybody who's interested, please contact me. Past programs on Friday, last Friday, we had American Steel play at Lions Park. It was very well attended. We had about 40 people show up. It's a beautiful night. It was a great concert, so that was really nice. Our upcoming programs and events, we have a lot of them coming up. I just wanted to highlight 2. This Saturday, we have our Touch a Truck event here at Lions Park from 11 to 2 p.m. Reminder that from 11 to 12, we're going to have a sensory-friendly hour. And then we will have 2 food trucks for that event. We're going to have Flip and Fry. They do burgers and fries, and then a shaved ice truck. And then another big event that we're working on is we are doing our first summer camp from July 19th through 22nd. It's a summer nature camp. Each day will be themed for a different group of animals. So mammals, insects, birds, and reptiles and amphibians. The ages are 6 to 8, and it's $50 per child for the full camp. And we are still taking registrations for that. I believe we have 6 registrants so far.
Do you have rain days? Are you just gonna put them in here?
Yes, yeah, we have plans A, B, C, and D. So
And is there a cap on registration? How many are you gonna let register for?
15 is our cap.
15?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Just in case I get questions. Thank you.
Yes. As Dave had mentioned already, we are starting service at the Cranberry Creek Pavilion. That has been a project that has been out there. Nancy actually started working on that project, so it's been out there for quite a while. So I'm happy to see that being wrapped up. We are also, Denison Electric is going to give us some quotes for putting electricity in at the Carter and the Honeychuck Pavilion. Those were items that I had budgeted for this year, so they're not unexpected things. So I would like to see at least the Honeychuck Pavilion get lights and electric for our concerts this year. Update on the dirt at Cranberry Creek Park. I was over there yesterday. The dirt has been removed and leveled as of this point. I don't believe it's been seeded yet. It's been pretty wet. So I would assume that they would come back and do that. So that was good to see as well. And exciting update that I'm super pumped for, the asphalt loop trail at Lions Park. We have a start date for that. That was also a project that we got a quote for about a year ago. I know they've been behind with all their projects. So the prep work for that is going to be July 13th and 14th, and they will be paving July 20th, of course, weather dependent. And a reminder, this is a 1/4 mile loop trail, asphalt loop trail, that's going to be at Lions Park, and it's going to go around the perimeter of the baseball and soccer field. So just a big square that goes around. This is a big piece for my goals because it'll be an accessible trail for people that have difficulty using our trails. And I have a lot of events already planned for it, so I think it'll be a great piece for the parks.
On this asphalt loop, is that going to be wide enough to handle a wheelchair?
Absolutely, yes. We have it, I believe it's 6 feet wide, which could accommodate 2 wheelchairs side by side or going in either direction. So also good for strollers, people with mobility issues, that kind of thing. So.
Do you have any kind of base price on that that's already been factored in?
Yeah, so we actually approved this project, oh gosh, I think it was last August. I remember Dave and I met with Cardinal last year. So I believe it was 15,000. Here, I have the quote here actually. 15,500. Oh, and then additionally too, this included asphalt patching at the Honeychuck Pavilion. The posts at the pavilion, the asphalt has kind of sunken in around it just after weathering after so many years. So we did include patching for that as well.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Very much.
And that concludes my report.
This is kind of parks and roads, so for both of you. Baseball, I believe, is wrapping up this weekend. Some tournaments are wrapping up. I know soccer tournaments wrapped up last weekend. So this is kind of our open window if we can get the fields fertilized, seeded, or any other work we can do to kind of prep them. Soccer reached out. They'd like to start fall soccer about the second weekend of August. That's when we'll start practicing for fall soccer. And then they'll wrap up end of September, early October, will end the season. So they'll be able to do summer or, fall maintenance on those field trips for winter. I know, Dave, don't we still have fertilization?
No, we burned all that up with the spring reseeding and all that, so.
No, that contract. Didn't we have a contract with Portage Turf or whatever?
Yeah, I'm still trying to get, we've been jumping, because he wanted to come out and spray it, and I didn't want him to spray the new field yet because of the new seed put
Okay.
out. So he, at any time now, when he can get here, he's gonna come and get it sprayed,
Okay.
so.
Um,
But that don't include the one over here in my shop.
okay.
That's just the new soccer field.
Okay. And they said if we need them to adjust the fields, the soccer fields this year a little bit, just to give some relief to some grass spots, just let me know. Dave, and we can try to figure out how we can angle them different. Because it's the goal boxes that get tore up a lot.
All right. They would probably just have to send it south, northwest to southeast. I mean, just turn it and just run the whole angle across. But I don't know what's being used for baseball fields in the fall too, so.
So what they've really kind of come to an agreement when Cassie and I met with them. They just alternate. Baseball really had priority in the spring, soccer gets priority in the fall, and then they both set their schedules and what's left over the other teams pick up. It's kind of how they run that.
Okay.
So it'll probably be 5-6 days a week that we played on out there between baseball and soccer. But I don't know if there's any maintenance we need to do. Now is just the time. Everything's wrapped up. So just letting you know. And I know it's your busy season too,
Right.
but
Yeah, we'll look at them, we'll see.
okay.
I mean, there could be areas we need to put some new topsoil, down new seed, that, so.
Okay.
But, the big thing is we'll have to make sure pretty much baseball's done too, because some of the areas are in conflict of both fields,
Okay.
so.
Yeah, baseball should be wrapping up. And like I said, soccer just wrapped up this weekend. So,
Okay.
so just an opportunity for to get that stuff done as we get into that off-season piece. And then they're going to reach out. They got a rough quote to see if they can afford to financially offer to do some work. So once they get that number, they're going to reach out to Dave, you, and Cassie to sit down for a meeting about maybe trying to help with the field some. Okay. All right. Anything else for Parks and Rec?
No, that's all.
All right. Cemetery, we have no information, no business
I
on
got
that.
an FYI here.
Okay.
Anyway, this Friday, Michelle, our cemetery sexton, and Dave, we are going to go over to the cemeteries in Richtown for a cemetery workshop. It says, join us for a do no harm approach to tombstone marker restoration. And I think it's gonna be really interesting for us, but I just want to let you know that there's some activity going on over in the cemetery.
Fiscal office, there's nothing under here. Michelle, you have anything you need to know about? All right, we've already done executive session, so we will now open it up for the good of the order. It's an opportunity if residents have any questions, comments, the floor is open. Yes.
Went past the fire station, they have a banner, running the, one length of it, it's just a low banner.
Right.
To keep people from, walking off the edge. That doesn't meet OSHA requirements. It's supposed to be a steel cable. It's open-ended, there's nothing on the other end of it. There's block on one side, but, it has to be a steel cable.
Right.
Or if OSHA comes along, who do they find?
So it's gonna be Rycon because they're the controlling contractor.
Well,
Yeah.
then somebody needs to notify him, he's got to comply.
Right.
I'll stop over there on the way after our meeting and talk to him.
Okay.
Yeah, Scott Baker is his name.
Right. All right. Anything else for the good of the order? All right. Hearing none, I will entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
I will second.
All those in favor, Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
all right, motion passed.
Meeting adjourned, 9:03. Have a great day.
You know anything about this here, Dan?